Hi, in this video, we're going to dive a little deeper into the math and printing we can do in Python. As you saw before, we can do all sorts of calculations in Python. We can get pretty complex with them too, which is why being comfortable with pandas is important. We can essentially perform any type of mathematical operation in Python. Here's a quick summary of the basics. For the addition of two numbers, we use the plus sign. For the subtraction of two numbers, we use the minus sign. For the multiplication of two numbers, we use the asterisk, not x. For the division of two numbers, we use the forward slash. And finally, for exponents, we use two asterisks. So 5 asterisk asterisk 3 is the same as saying 5 raised to the power of 3, which is 5 times 5 times 5, or 125. In terms of printing, not only can we print numbers, but we can also print text, or what we call strings. When I run this program, the text "Hello World" prints to the console. It's important to note that we need quotes around the text in the print statement, but no quotes are actually printed. Let's be clear about the difference between strings and numbers really quick. Numbers are written as themselves, no quotes or commas or anything. You can print them without quotes and can perform calculations with them. Strings, on the other hand, require quotes. They can be any value that includes a number. Be careful though, you can't perform calculations with strings. So 10,500 as a string is acting as text, not a number. When you print the strings, you need to put quotation marks, but they won't actually be printed. If we try to print the string without quotes, we get an error. Add the quotes back in, and everything works as expected. Like printing numbers, we can print multiple strings as well. Both strings print at the same time, but on different lines. In this print statement, we want to print both the string, the text best number, and the number 5. When I run this, however, I get an error message. That's because we can't print both a string and a number in the same print statement. But there are many scenarios where you would want to print both strings and numbers, so Python does give us a way to do this. All we have to do is convert the number 5, in this case, to a string. Introducing the string function. The string function or command does exactly what we need it to do. It converts a number into a string. Taking our last example here, we now write str, open parentheses, our number, and then close parentheses. This takes our 5 and converts it into a string version of 5. Now to include both pieces, we must use the plus sign to join the two items. Writing this in our editor and running it, we get what we want, best number 5. Amazing! Okay, now we'll apply this technique to the following example. We want to use Python to calculate the area of a rectangle and print it out with a string label. Our rectangle has a length of 15 centimeters and a width of 8 centimeters. Let's switch over to our live editor to create this code. Okay, so here's the CodeHS code editor, where you'll be doing most of your work. Let's go ahead and type out our first calculation, which will be the area of a rectangle with a length of 15 and a width of 8. To do this, we write print 15 times 8. When I run this, you will see here the results printed out as expected. Now, let's add text to our print statements. In order to include both a string and an integer in a print statement, we need to convert the integer into a string using the string function. To do this, we write print a string, a plus sign, and then we have to convert 15 times 8 into a string, so we write the string function. In between the parentheses, we write 15 times 8. When I rerun the code, you see we get area 120, so it worked as expected. Let's add units to this string. We can add additional strings to the print statement by adding another plus sign and the string we want to join. So in this case, let's say it's centimeters squared. Great, the area of the rectangle is 120 centimeters squared. Now it's your turn to try it out.